Alright, now that we've discussed a little bit about what contour and substrate and environmental factors can have on latent prints, let me show you two different methods using regular carbon fingerprint powder and using magnetic powder on two very kind of different surfaces. One is a smooth and non-porous plastic, while the other is a semi-gloss, slight porous paper. So let's start with the paper one first, because as we've talked, the best surface for fingerprints are your smooth, hard, non-porous surfaces like glass. So with magnetic powder, basically two components. You have your magnet or your magnet wand, which is your brush, and then you have your magnetic powder, which is basically finely ground up ferrous metals, like iron fillings. So just like a brush, we go back and forth. Now obviously you wouldn't want to use this on something that is a metal because you're going to have all your magnetic powder sticking to it. But you can see how we start to develop some really good fingerprints, even on a porous or semi-porous surface, such as the paper. Then for our other one, you have your substrate, or in this case our plastic cup, a regular brush, and regular back black powder. So I like to lightly just put the tip of the brush into the lid of the cup, because you can overpowder a print very easily. Then go back and forth along your surface until you start to identify areas where you might have some good latent prints. There's lots of different techniques that I've seen. I've seen people twirl it like they do in CSI. I prefer a brushing technique, and you just want to make sure that you get it from every angle so that you fully develop that print. And you can see there we're developing some pretty good latent prints. Now, other methods of developing fingerprints apart from powders could include super glue, such as this battery that I just super glued, and I put a dye stain, a yellow dye stain, which will cause the print to fluoresce. What super glue does is it adheres to the oils of the fingerprint, creating kind of an enamel casing. So I can dye it as many times as I want. I can put powder on it, I can wash it off, and my print's still there because the super glue casing is essentially protecting that print, which still allows you to actually touch DNA as well. Some other methods of chemical processing are anhydrous, such as what I've got going on in this tank right here, and then DFO, or silver nitrate, lots of different chemicals depending on the surface that you're dealing with. One of the best ways I ever learned, acronyms wise, was INSOAS, and that's a procedure in which you're supposed to process things. So iodine, anhydrous, and silver nitrate, and what they detect for: oils, amino acids, and salts. So hopefully you guys kind of learned a little bit of something by looking at how we actually do process for latent prints within both a field setting or in a lab setting. Leave your comments and questions below, and I look forward to talking with y'all more.